Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Kick Me, your favorite crowdfunding news and reviews channel here on YouTube. Today we're going to look at another Indiegogo project. This one is the X6, the most versatile USB-C PD power bank ever. 2000 milliamp hours, 45 watts in and out, 5 outputs, low power and UPS modes. Full speed charging for the latest devices. Okay, so if you're not familiar, PD is, I think, Power Direct. It's the new standard that iPhone 8 and above, that's basically iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and iPhone 10, use to do high-speed charging. It's basically equivalent to QC charging that you see on a lot of Android phones from Qualcomm. So this is basically, it's a power bank. It has a pretty huge battery. That's 20,000 milliamp hours. Is I think a MacBook Pro nowadays is something like 7,000. So this is like 3 MacBook Pro recharges in one capsule thing, almost. And even an iPhone, well, say an iPhone 7 Plus is 2,900. So you could recharge your phone like 7 times off of this thing in one go. Right? That's pretty good. Size-wise. And 45 watts in and out is also pretty high. But with a battery this big, you need really high voltage, high current, I should say, high wattage to recharge that many milliamp hours in a reasonable amount of time. And at that size, I think it says it takes 3 hours to recharge, which is not short. But anyway, let's just watch the video really fast. It's pretty slick and, you know, fancy music, all that. Okay, yada yada, you just wasted 10 minutes showing that. Okay, so same thing we just saw. 3-hour recharge. Okay, so let me just nitpick a little bit here. You can't actually see it very well in the video. I don't have a real good close-up in here. But from what I understand, so they says it has 5 inputs, but actually one of them, which is the USB-C one here, is in and out, which means that you charge it from that, and then you can also power USB-C, or you can plug in USB-C cables into that. So unfortunately, that means if you are charging it with a USB-C, you can only use the USB-A outputs. Which means that I don't know if you can necessarily do the PD. It doesn't say it very clearly, but pretty much unless you have a special third party like a C-Force cable, you probably can't do the PD from here. So does that mean that you can't charge it and use it to charge PD things like your iPhone 10 at the same time? Not so clear. I suspect it is. It has a precision power indicator which shows percentage. I guess that's kind of useful, but you know, I think my current power bank I'm using has 5 or 6 lights that turn on and off as it charges. So if all the lights are on, it's fully charged. If they're not, it's not. Does it really matter if it's 93 or 92? Probably a little bit overkill. This one, they don't actually say how heavy it is, I think. Unless I missed it. So, yeah, it's pretty spurious to say. Okay, here we go, yeah. And I think this actually looks like a QC charger logo. So I guess that one can do QC charging from the USB-A, but not PD. Here we are, yeah. I missed this one. So Quick Charge 3.0 is only from one port, and then this is the USB-C Power Delivery 3.0, so that's your PD one. Anyway, so you know, it's got all the fancy overprotection, etc. One cool thing that they do go into some detail in one of the extra videos is that it can do a couple extra features. One thing is it has a UPS feature, which basically means you can charge this thing, you know, intermittently, and then meanwhile have it continuously charge an outside device. So for example, if you have like a security camera or something like that you don't want the batteries to run out on. That's not a really good example because a security camera you basically would have fully charged. But let's say you're watching tons of movies on your iPad and you don't want to plug it into the wall, so you plug into this thing because you're using your wall adapter for something else, which I've had this happen before. So you can basically just plug this thing into the wall every once in a while, and it'll still provide a continuous, unending stream of power to whatever you're charging from it. And they point out that for some of the cheaper power supplies, if you plug this thing in, it suddenly like turns off the charging, or it blinks off for a second, and whatever. If this thing doesn't have a battery itself, it would reboot. So that's a pretty big edge case, I think. But USB power, okay, that's great. UPS power, I should say. The other thing it has is, which they call X-Charge, is if you have things like an Apple Watch or other wearables or Bluetooth earpieces and stuff like that, they actually draw very low current when they're recharging. So for some power supplies, they basically think there's no significant power draw, so they turn themselves off. So you kind of continuously have to push the button, every 30 seconds or whatever to keep it from turning itself off if you really wanted to charge something. So this one has like a always on mode that you can manually set if you're plugging in something that's too dinky for it to recognize as a drawing power. At least compared to other things, it's too dinky. What other power banks are used to. Anyway, so they go through some details. Pass-through charging, which is I guess the UPS thing. Can you do it with a solar charger? It would have to be a pretty big freaking solar charger. Yeah, because if it takes 3 hours when you plug it in, it would take 300 hours with a reasonably sized solar panel. And all the normal detail comes in black, comes in white. The other thing is the packages. Let's talk about money. So first of all, they've raised a decent amount of money. I think they only wanted $30,000. They're on their way to 4 times that now. You can get the power bank for $65 for one. This is the early bird. They've got a bunch left. This is actually the wall charger that can charge it with this USB. It's 45 watts. That's pretty good. It also has some USB plugs there. Why not? So this, I guess, is a stretch goal or whatever because they came in over budget. So you can actually get them together or just apart. So this thing is actually much cheaper. So $39. This is whatever the non-early bird price, and they've got some bundles in here somewhere. I think for both together, or at least 2. Where is it? It's got to be in here somewhere. Maybe they haven't added that yet. But anyway, so the question is this thing really worth $65? So nowadays you can get power banks. I haven't even looked recently, but $10 or $15 for a 5,000 milliamp hour one. So the question is, could I just buy 4 of those, or leave one in the car, one in my backpack, one in my office, one in my home, and just grab it whenever I need it, and have 4 of them rather than expect to bring one big honking one around with me that costs 4 or 5 times more. There's pros and cons for both. I would say $65, especially because this is like a prototype level only thing. That's not unreasonable. Like these things at a decent store, buy in an Apple store, whatever, would probably be close to $40-50. So the fact that you're helping them support it, I'm going to go a little bit easy on them. So I will give this one a mild thumbs up. Not super amazing. It would be great if it had more than one USB-C cable, a plug, and that you could also charge while using the USB-C cable. That's another kind of big thing. Anyway, I'll give it a slight thumbs up. Not a huge thumbs up, not a 2 thumbs up, but a 15 degrees thumbs up. Do check us out. Oh, actually, yeah, don't forget there's a link in the description below if you actually want to see it in more detail. Do check us out on Twitter and Facebook at GoKickMe. Consider subscribing. We need more subscribers. If you have any feedback on this project or any others, if you are from Zendur and I got anything wrong, please let me know in the comments below or send me a message directly through YouTube. Yeah, and if you have suggestions for other projects to review, do let us know because I'm always open for suggestions. See you guys next time.